This morning, I visited the University of Chemistry, and I was saying that the area we will focus on after defense and security is education. This is the area that interests us the most, especially the sciences. Russia needs to help us train our youth, particularly in the field of science, or so that we can develop machinery at home, whether it's machinery for the military or for industry. Because only at this price will we be able to develop within Africa.
What's up, family? Greetings. Hoping that you are doing very, very well. Something shocked people last week, and mostly this was because of Ibrahim Traoré, the Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Africa, our president of Burkina Faso. So Captain Ibrahim Traoré last week, about on Thursday, we saw him flying to Russia to join in the commemorations of the 80th anniversary of the victory over Nazism. He was the guest of honor in Russia, and he joined Vladimir Putin. And we saw them even having some bilateral talks with President Putin. And we are going to start from here because there are a lot of things that shocked the world about Ibrahim Traoré and their relationship with Russia. First, let's listen to this short speech from Ibrahim Traoré, translated and dubbed in English. You know, some guys have been saying it's AI, it's fake. No. AI is actually translating and dubbing the voice using his own voice. That is where technology has taken us. So that whenever any African listening to this, you need to understand that we have not changed anything. It's just pure translation. Listen to this.
It is an honor to be here at the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Great War. I would therefore like to congratulate you and thank you for this invitation, which is a symbol for us. And during my time here, I must admit that I have learned many lessons. The session I attended before dinner the previous evening, the cultural session, made me realize that history and culture are the foundation for building a strong and resilient army. Together, we were able to see all the sacrifices that the Soviet people made so that we can live in a free world today. And so we want to thank you for this invitation, because these moments have also allowed us to reflect on our own situation and to consider new perspectives. And with that, I believe that the obstacles we face today should not stop us. And in a way, obstacles are a good thing that we must overcome. As proof, I think that despite all the sanctions against Russia for some time now, Russia has managed to develop an internal mechanism that puts it at the forefront of the international stage. And we are learning, we are taking careful note of these lessons that we have learned here. And also, regarding the parade, I want to say that I was amazed to see the sequence of vehicles that marched before us, especially starting from the legendary T-34 tank, which was victorious during the Great War, up to today's modern tanks, how much the Russian army has modernized and how technology has contributed to strengthening this army. In this context, we hope that the cooperation we have can be strengthened exponentially. I would like to thank you already for everything that has been done for us, especially the scholarships that are granted to Burkina Faso, and that will increase. This morning, I visited the University of Chemistry, and I was saying that the area we will focus on after defense and security is education. This is the area that interests us the most, especially the sciences. Russia needs to help us train our youth, particularly in the field of science, or so that we can develop machinery at home, whether it's machinery for the military or for industry. Because only at this price will we be able to develop within Africa. The war that is being imposed on us today, we believe, is just another manifestation of Nazism. because the terrorism we see today is not really terrorism, it's imperialism. It is our land that interests those who are fighting against us. And so, ending this war, building a strong army, and launching the development of our homeland, this is the very essence of our struggle. And we are counting on you, especially to train our personnel. Because cooperation, as we often say in Africa, is usually accompanied by many requests. We know that you are engaged in a special military operation. We understand all the challenges involved and the future that awaits the whole world. We can understand that. So we may not be here to ask for a lot of things, to request aid or anything like that, but the help you can give us is above all this transfer of knowledge that we seek. And so we hope to have more scholarships and to explore ways in which we ourselves can provide scholarships for our students to study here. And thirdly, how can the universities here be replicated in Burkina Faso, especially the ones I have visited? There are also many other universities in the field of science. How can we replicate them in Burkina Faso with all the necessary laboratories required to provide practical training for our youth so that we can truly be at the heart of our own development? So this is the main request we have right now, given the context we are living in order to be able to process everything we have locally, to produce many things ourselves, and for Burkina Faso to become a hub where many young Africans will come to learn science as well. Because here in Russia, you have eminent scientists, and there have been many scholars whose works we continue to study. So I think this is a tree from which we can draw science to help us develop.
So, hey, my heart feels good when I see Brenter and Ibrahim, whenever he talks, as much as he's talking, asking for scholarships for Burkinabe. And by the way, if you noted in that video, he's talking about knowledge sharing. He's talking about knowledge transfer. He's asking the Russian president and telling him that we don't want you to give us things. We don't want aid. We want knowledge transfer. We want our people to come and learn here. Give us some scholarship because you have given us some, add us more. And when you add us more, we are also going to add ourselves more. We're going to look into what we can do so that we can also bring our people here with our own scholarships, so that there's knowledge transfer in the field of science, so that we can have military intelligence, military machinery, that is military machines that are made in Burkina, and so that young Africans can also come and learn from Burkina in Burkina Faso. He talks about Africa, young Africans going to Burkina to learn from. So this is a long-term thing. We also learned something very, very important as Putin was talking, and Putin said that.
And I would like to mention your contribution, your country's contribution to defeating German Nazism and its allies. Some 30,000 Burkinabe fought with the anti-Hitler coalition forces under the guidance, under the leadership of legendary Frenchman Charles de Gaulle. And now we are united by our joint goal to fight against terrorism and extremism, and we will continue to support the Republic and restoring constitutional and lawful order, to fight against unlawful factions that are still operating in some parts of Burkina Faso.
I would like to recall your country's contribution to the defeat of German Nazism and its satellites. Approximately 30,000 soldiers from Burkina Faso fought as a part of anti-Hitler coalition. So this is something that people didn't know, because our history has been distorted so that we will never know that our people died and our ancestors died fighting for this war. But I can tell you, as a person from East African, my ancestors fought in the Burma War for Britain, and a lot of them were killed. And those who came back are the people who started the Mau Mau rebellion. We also remember the Traoré'S massacre in Senegal. It is our ancestors, or the ancestors of the people of Senegal, Mali, Burkina, Niger, those Francophone countries who had gone to fight and they were not being paid. So they were asking for their reparations, for their payment, and instead of being paid, they were shot. So that is the history that we never knew. We also saw and have this interview from TRT, which we are going to make it for you in a very nice way. But let me, guys, let me tell you what shocked the world. Do you know Putin? Because I think of these things that you have seen America trying, like Michael Langley blaming Ibrahim Traoré and, terming him as a dictator and someone who is using the natural resources to benefit himself, to provide security for himself. Do you know Putin offered a private jet, a Russian presidential private jet, and two fighter jets to protect Traoré on his way from Burkina to Russia and back? Do you know Putin provided for this? And it shocked a lot of people because this guy, wow, as in this guy is protecting Traoré because Traoré is the new change. Traoré is an Africa that is able to stand by itself and chase away the French and the white people and kill what we can call or what we call imperialism and neocolonization. And you have seen what they did to Russia. This is the same thing that they did to Zimbabwe and many other countries. So Traoré is the future of Africa and the world. That is why even Putin knows that. You also saw him with Xi Jinping, and we also note that the president of North Korea has promised a very tight security for him. Imagine in Burkina. So it's something that the West will not believe. I'm telling you this, the West will not believe. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not subscribed, please do. Also, if you'd like support us, we have Buy Me a Coffee link in the description and on your screen. And please like this video so that the algorithm can favor us and it can reach more of our brothers and sisters. We see you in the next video.